everyone, and welcome to Daily Newspaper Analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. So, today again, we will discuss two articles. The first article is from the Hindu newspaper, which is titled as Tracking Fugitives Everywhere. So, this talks about the possibility of having a complete national data at one place that would help in tracking the fugitives everywhere in the world for better coordination and early trials to take place. And the second article is from the Indian Express, which is titled as Why a Cooperation Ministry. So here the union government has suggested to have a separate ministry for cooperation. So what this ministry would be and what would be the primary goal that would be taken care of by this ministry has been discussed in this article. So this newspaper analysis is presented by me. My name is Sheva Khan. I am a law graduate and had completed my law degree in the year 2019 with a gold medal in my batch. Here at LawSikho, I'm working as the manager for current affairs vertical. And if you wish to connect with me, you can find me on my LinkedIn as well as Twitter handle. The links to both are available in the description box below. Also, there is an important announcement that we need to make here that from tomorrow, that is 10th to 12th of July, we are organizing a free online 3-day boot camp on how to crack Indian judiciary exams. So if at all you have any confusions regarding your preparation, you wanted to know how to pace up your preparation and stuff, so you can definitely enroll yourself. This is to be held from 6 to 9 p.m. and it is absolutely for free. You can register. The link is also there in the description box below. Do it now. Let's see what is the multiple choice question from yesterday's discussion. The current total fertility rate in India is, your options are 2.0, 2.1, 2.2 or 3. Please keep in mind, we are asking about the current total fertility rate and not the ideal fertility rate. So let's see what is the descriptive question from today's discussion. How can a nationwide data of wanted persons can make the tracking of fugitives easier? So if you know the answer, you can put it down in the comment section as well. Within a word limit of 250 to 300 words, you can easily copy paste your content there. So if you wish to download the PDF of today's slides or want to avail other kinds of study materials like the current affairs monthly compendiums, daily quizzes, etc., so you can definitely join our Telegram group. The link to this group is available in the description box below, or you can simply scan this QR code that you can see on your screens right now. Also, for various other short and interesting content, do not miss out our Instagram channels for Judiciary, CLAT Prep, and LawSikho UGC. So make sure that you are following the same as well. So let's start a discussion for the first article of the day, which talks about tracking the fugitives. So the United Kingdom High Court recently rejected Nirav Modi's plea against extradition in the 13,758 crore rupees PNB fraud case. So as we know that Nirav Modi had already, had fled away to the United Kingdom, and India had been asking the United Kingdom to extradite him back to India. Now he had also put up a plea in the UK High Court for putting against this case which was there against him. But now the UK High Court has currently rejected this plea against his extradition. So let's understand that what is the India's extradition law. So it is spread across the Indian Penal Code as well as the procedural and the laws related to narcotic drugs, IT, as well as that is the information technology, hijacking, etc. And we also have the Extradition Act, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, the Prevention of Corruption Act, and the Prevention of Money Laundering, and so on. So all these acts talk about the money laundering, but still it would be ideal, as the article also says, that we have a complete centralized thing that talks specifically about the data of the people who are fugitives. So if we talk about the investigation and the prosecution, so the majority of the same happens in state police stations, and the important cases are taken by the central agencies. And the tendency to close investigations is there once the accused have absconded. Now what happens is that once the accused, like let's say in this case, it was the Nirav Modi. So once that person is absconded, that is which he runs away from the country. So that case or that investigation, in a way closes down, because we have no accused as such over here. And it becomes very difficult many a times to extradite or bring back this person who is fugitive. So the number of cases where coordinated efforts are made to pursue the fugitive domestically or internationally are hardly documented, and that is why they are given a blue corner notice, and approximately we have 300 of them. So what happens is that when a person runs away to another country, either that person has to be brought back domestically, as in if he has gone to any of the other states in the country itself, or internationally, that is to any other country or nation at such. So it becomes very difficult, and here we need coordinated efforts for bringing that person back, and these cases are hardly documented, and thus it becomes easier to push them back into files, and thus no proper taking or no proper trial can be taken place in these such cases. So here are a few requirements which have been mentioned in this article. Firstly is the creation of a nationwide data of the wanted persons accessible by the police agencies, public, passport and immigration authorities as well, so that if at all there is a person who is on the verge of running away from the country, so if at all there is an integrated system of the data procurement, so the passport and immigration authorities would already know about this thing, and thus early catch can take place. Secondly, more integration is needed between immigration, state police, Interpol at the New Delhi, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs, and the central agencies through crime and criminal tracking network and national intelligence grid as well. Now, this national intelligence grid, which also in short is known as the NAT grid, was one of the very informative and one of the most zealous in a way initiatives that had been taken place, wherein the Aadhaar was also used to keep a track on these people, and thus better coordination and integration can definitely help to catch these fugitives early in time. Then the nationwide system of wanted persons notices, similar to the Interpol notices, should take place. So like we have it for the international police, similarly for the police at the national level also, we should have this entire database prepared for the wanted persons notices. Also, the signing of more bilateral and multilateral conventions or criminal matters. Now, as we know that when we talk about the extradition, so for that as well, two countries need to have already signed extradition treaty between them, and only then it becomes easier and feasible to extradite a particular person who is a fugitive. In this case, if at all there is no extradition treaty between X and Y country, it becomes legally or technically very difficult or impossible to bring back that person. And that is why more and more bilateral or multilateral such conventions or extradition treaties can definitely bring more countries in this particular loop or in this interconnected network, and thus it would become difficult for these criminals or these fugitives or these accused people to run away to such countries. And finally, we need to have integrated international cooperation division, which would maintain all the database at the international level. So there are a lot of fugitives which are running away from justice. For example, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, Vijay Mallya, Deepak Talwar, Sanjay Bhandari, and even Lalit Modi. And the cases that they have of the money laundering are huge. Be it from in the Nirav Modi case, we have approximately 12,000 crore rupees. In Vijay Mallya, we have 9,000 crores. And in Lalit Modi case, we have 125 crore rupees. So it's very, very huge. On this note, let's discuss the second article of the day, which talks about the Ministry of Cooperation. So the government recently announced the formation of a separate Union Ministry of Cooperation, which was earlier under the Ministry of Agriculture. So if you know that one of the Gandhian principles were also to have the cooperative societies, and this is also mentioned under the directive principles of state policy. If you know the exact article, do let us know for sure. So let's see that what is this cooperation ministry all about, and what would be the purpose of having this cooperation ministry. So generally and basically, it will help deepen the cooperatives as a true people-based movement reaching up to the grassroots level. Now, as we know that when we talk about the cooperatives or the cooperative societies, these are the small business models or money pooling models which help the people from the grassroots level and even from the poor sections of the society to come together and come and become self-sufficient financially, economically, and otherwise in other sources of facilities in society as well. So this would actually streamline the processes for ease of doing business for cooperatives and enable development of MSMEs. Now let's take an example that, for example, there are 3 farmers who have 10 cows or buffaloes. Now they come together and they form a small, this dairy through which they are selling their milk. Now this could take a form of the cooperative, wherein this small business idea, given the right direction and energy and even the funds at the right time, can move to become a large business in the coming future. And that is why this can enable in the development of the micro, small and medium enterprises as well. This will also restore the importance of cooperative structure in India, because as we know that India still is considered to be as an agrarian or a rural economy, because a very large share of its GDP comes from the agricultural sector, and the people that are working in the agricultural sector look forward to these cooperative societies and cooperatives that actually help them to build small business models, and thus it would definitely help to restore the importance of cooperative structure in the country. So if we try to understand about the cooperative movement that took place in the country, so cooperatives are the organizations formed at the grassroots to harness the power of collective bargaining for a common goal. Just like the example that I gave you of 3 or 4 farmers maybe having 10 or 9 cows, through which they have a common goal of selling the milk that they produce in the dairy, and thus they can have the power of collective bargaining and thus can strike to better deals. Also, the village level primary agricultural credit societies anticipate credit demand of a village and makes the demand to the district central cooperative banks. So basically, whenever there is demand of any funds or money, so it is the primary agricultural credit societies in the villages that help them to get these funds from the district central cooperative banks, and thus these funds become very important in taking forward these cooperative societies and the business ideas we are talking about. Then about these PACS, which are the primary agricultural credit societies, they have more bargaining power than the individuals, because obviously an individual might not be able to give that much of a guarantee in taking while he or she wants a loan. But of course, when on their behalf, the PACS or the primary agricultural credit societies, they go on forward to take the loans or ask for funds, definitely they seem out to be more reliable of a source, and thus they get easier bargaining and better deals in funds as well. So in the country, we have some related laws with the cooperatives, like the cooperation being in the concurrent list is being governed by both the governments. Please keep it in mind that the cooperative societies of the cooperation falls in the concurrent list, and that is why both the union as well as the states, they have the right to govern this subject. Then, the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act of 2002 allowed for registration of societies with operations in more than one state. And if we talk about the controlling authority, so the Central Registrar of Societies controls the corporations, and but the state registrar takes actions on his behalf. So basically, the registration or controlling is done by the Central Registrar of Societies, but the actual practical actions are taken by the state registrar. And here we have a few influencing policies as well. Like, for example, in Maharashtra, 150 MLAs have had connection with the movement, and Amit Shah headed the Ahmedabad District Central Cooperative Bank as well. So definitely this can help us grow the cooperatives as well as the rural sector at a very large scale. And for that, we have the rural cooperative credit institutions as well as the urban cooperative banks as well. So this was all for the day. We hope it was a good and informative session for you all. If you liked it, do give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channels for never missing an update. Thank you so much.